So one of the keys to being a human is staying alive. But it's not always so easy. I want to give you a story and then a principle about how to live your best bold life. I was kayaking one time with friends and family, and we got to this part where the river parted into two separate sides. And as I'm telling this story, I want to remind you that I'm not a great swimmer. I'm in the recreational level of swimming. When I was a kid and you're out there in the lake or the pool with your friends, and someone says, "Okay, let's see who can hold your breath the longest underwater," I'm like, I'm still trying to get the guts to put my whole head underwater. So I'm never into that competition. So here we are in these kayaks, and we come to this spot where the river takes a sharp right. But right there where the turn is, there's a lot of rapids, a lot of stuff happening, and ended up finding out it was pretty deep at that point. Well, right there where that sharp turn is, some people in front of us had capsized in their kayaks, and now there's a raft against them that's stuck. So there's a traffic jam right there. So we've worked up speed, and we have no choice but to just abandon our kayak, just roll out and hold on to the handle, and just float into this mess. Well, the current was strong enough that it just pressed us all together into this pile. And I ended up underneath my kayak. The kayak was upside down. And when I came up, I was in the seat of my head was in the seat of the kayak. So I had this little pocket for breathing, but there's all this oncoming traffic coming that's just going to pile up against us. I don't know where this is going to go, but I know that I don't want to be under my kayak. I don't want to be underwater. And I wasn't sure that where I was at was even going to work. And so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to try to do something. I go to my left, but when I went under my kayak, when I tried to come up, I was just underneath a raft, so I couldn't come up. And so I went back into the little air pocket, and I thought, okay, I can go to my right, but that's where the downed tree is. If I go to my right, am I going to get myself stuck in a tree underwater? That's not good. Or will I be able to come up? I don't know. You couldn't see, and I don't even open my eyes underwater. I don't know how that works for normal humans, but I went to my right, and fortunately, there was room. I came up. So now I'm just holding on to this tree. So that's good. The frantic situation seems to be over. Like, I was a pretty ugly moment for a few seconds for me. But now I'm on the wrong side of the river. I have to get to the other side where all the humans are and where my kayak is floated, and someone's got that. And I'm holding a life preserver. And I think, okay, I've got this preserver, so I'm going to be fine, right? I'm just going to just jump into these rapids and work my way over to the other side. Well, things got ugly again. I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought it was going to be okay. And the current was just kind of just whipping me around. I was trying to control where I was going. I was trying to get to the other side. I wasn't sure how to, but I was trying to make it happen. And quickly, I was kind of desperate again, like this, I'm out of control here. And my immediate instinct was to flail and try really hard. And it just made the situation more anxious and more desperate. And I would flail more and more. And instantly I'm like, I'm in trouble again. What is happening with my day? There was a man nearby on the shore who saw me, and he evidently was pretty experienced. He simply yelled to me, and he said, "Just let the current take you." The situation I was in, I was rather vulnerable and willing to listen to advice. I don't know who this man was. I never saw him. He was there. But I just listened to what he said, and I stopped all of my movement and just held the preserver, and the current just caused me to just float. I just floated down the river. It actually became kind of fun. It wasn't hard at all. I was doing nothing but holding on to this preserver. Zero effort on my part. Now, I still had some control. I could move my feet a little bit, my arms just a little bit, and kind of coax my way to the right. And as the current slowed down, then I had the ability to move where I needed to move. So this is what happens in life. Sometimes the current is so strong. Our instinct is, oh my gosh, I have to control this. And it makes us flail away. We might flail away in a relationship. We might flail away with a work conflict. And what happens when we flail? Like elbows and body parts are just flying and it's not good. Damage comes. And the thing is, the harder we try to control it, it actually becomes worse. So now the desperation becomes greater, the frustration becomes greater, the anxiety gets greater. And it makes us flail even harder, which exhausts us even more. The results get worse as we try even harder. But what if we just let the current take us? What if we kind of, in a sense, let go of trying to control what can't be controlled? Because a moment will come quicker than we think where we do get the ability to make small movements to get us where we need to go. So what we can do with this whole story is this. Sometimes life is much more about trusting than it is trying. And I think when life throws us the strongest currents, maybe it's with our kids or someone else very close to us, or when something with work feels like it could be like, this could be bad, like we got a call from a customer, this could be bad. What if instead of instantly flailing, instead we first of all trust? And when things slow down a little bit, when our mind slows down, when the emotions cease to be flailing away, we can make a good decision. If you want to be human, you got to learn how to survive, first of all. And survival sometimes is about trusting instead of trying.